104.1 FM KMOX.
Currently 56 degrees with sunny skies. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. Overhead Tour Company of St. Louis. The genuine, the original. Now the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Tell you what, we're excited about it as well. With Chris Ranji, I'm Tom Ackerman. Lots of different sports, just an array, a cornucopia, if you will, of sportage.
Cornucopia.
On this program today.
I don't know the last time I've used that word.
Well, I just did.
Good.
We're going to get after it today. We have the back half of the show. We'll save football. Lots of college football to get into with Brett Norsworthy, who is the radio host for the Ole Miss Radio Network and a huge Cardinals fan. That guy can break down baseball like nobody's business. He is based in Memphis, which is where our Cardinals AAA affiliate is. So Brett Norsworthy will be with us in the 12:30 portion of the show. And then we tried to find a Miami Hurricanes fan around here. You know of any?
One.
Well,
unfortunately.
We got him, buddy. Kevin Wheeler is going to be here at 12:45 to talk about the Canes and the Cardinals and anything else that he wants to get into. We will do that in the back half of the show. Are you excited about that? What do you say?
I'm talking to Kevin?
Yeah.
I love talking to Kevin.
Me too. You know,
I love talking to Kevin when I initiate. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when he initiates, you're in it for however long he wants it to happen.
When I initiate, I'm in it for however long he wants it to happen, and that's the way
also true.
That's the only time that of the week that we'll be able to decide. It's our show.
Can't we? Kevin, that's enough.
I love that dude.
He's the best.
Excited to have Kevin Wheeler in studio. Brett Norsworthy will not be in studio. He is in Glendale, Arizona, the site of the Fiesta Bowl. Do you say Verbo or VRBO?
I guess Verbo.
I still say VRBO Fiesta, but I think they want you to say Verbo.
I don't like saying GEHA Stadium or whatever.
Yeah, I don't even.
I don't like it.
I appreciate Verbo, but I'm going to call it the Fiesta Bowl. But that's where he is anyway. That's where Ole Miss and Miami are playing. And then we'll break down just a little bit of Indiana, Oregon. I had a friend text me just a moment ago and said, be honest, more excited for the Peach Bowl or 2011 Game 6?
Well, hold on. Game 6, does he mean after the fact?
More excited for the Peach Bowl or 2011 Game 6, meaning prior to Game 6.
Well, you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Game 6, you didn't know what was going to happen?
No, I didn't. So you know what my answer was?
Peach Bowl.
Ask me Friday.
Oh, okay.
Because right now I feel good. You know, I've been paying attention. So we'll get into that. Boy, Game 6 was just, I was a combination of nervous and excitement, but I was working. We're covering the game. Yeah, we had a job to do. We're covering an elimination game. The Rangers were up 3-2 in the series, and it was an incredible day. I did get a text from Brett Norsworthy. I don't want to steal his thunder, but the guest that we're going to have at 12:30, he said the win of Ole Miss over Georgia, he said, sports, no emotion like it. Last night moved into David Free's home run club for me, and that's a very exclusive club.
Yeah.
So I hear you. I understand that.
Let me now, since we're talking about that, and I want to get your take on it.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked yesterday about the FCS championship game, and I've been mulling it over. I'm an ISU fan, and I have decided, because I've looked back on all of the devastating sports losses of my lifetime, and I think that's number one for me, just based on the context and how close they were and how badly it was screwed up and the number of things that had to happen for them to lose it, and it just right, all of it.
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about a bad loss. And I said I would rather them have lost by 4 touchdowns than lose the way they lost it, by having the game-winning field goal blocked, then go to overtime, then score the first touchdown, and then have the point after blocked, and then the other team answer and then kick the extra point to win. I would rather have my team just get blown out than be that close to a title and lose it. And her response is, well, no, don't you want them to play well and compete? And then you have the pride that you were close. And I said, no, I don't want to have something feel like it was like I had it and then it was taken away from me.
Yeah,
right?
They both are bad, but they both are different feelings. You would have been devastated to get blown out by 4 touchdowns, but it's a different feeling. You feel like you've had
a disappointment
stolen from you. Yes.
I'd rather have disappointment than heartbreak.
That one will, I'm sorry to say, it haunts you for a while.
Oh, maybe
it's
forever.
kind of like, like Super Bowl 36, let's say. The Rams are 2 touchdown favorites. Different situation because you were an underdog, but the Rams had the Super Bowl. They lost to the Patriots on an Adam Vinatieri field goal, and it was painful, and we never really got over it. In fact, I think if the Rams win that game, they might still be here. I don't know. The Cardinals losing Game 6 of the World Series, or Game 7 for that matter, especially. Can you imagine after David Freese hits the home run, after all of that, they lose Game 7 to the Rangers? That would have been absolutely devastating. The thing about sports is just that. The wins are so sweet because the alternative is awful. And it's almost like, in my experience being an Indiana fan, let's say, especially on the basketball side, is that I feel more relief that they didn't lose than elation that they won, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Now, on the football side, I'm feeling the opposite. I'm just feeling pure just elation and feel great about it. From the Blues, let's say, the run that they had all the way to Boston, then they lose in Game 7. Are we like, well, golly, I mean, that was just a great run? No, it would hurt.
It would hurt. Yeah.
It would hurt, but they didn't. They won the game.
So imagine,
and that's how Boston felt. They felt devastated.
Now,
still do.
Okay, think of it this way: put last season's Winnipeg loss. Losing with 0.2 seconds, having the lead, and then blowing it with 0.2 seconds.
Pain.
Imagine that's how the Bruins series ends. Now, that to me would be absolutely devastating, to be 0.2 seconds away from your first ever championship and have it ripped away from you like that. That's the kind of thing I don't think you ever get over as a sports fan.
Right, because as DLW is noting here on our YouTube feed, is that I don't think we're over the Winnipeg loss. I feel it in the Blues franchise.
Now, let me tell you why I don't. Because it was just a few years prior to that, they won the whole damn thing for the first time ever. So that satiated me in a way that I didn't think it would, and it's held over for a long time. So had they not won the Cup, and then last year happened, or last season happened, then maybe it stings a little bit more, and it did sting, but also it was a first round.
I know what I mean? But I'm going to counter here. We're going to do a little baseball in this first segment, but I'm going to flip it, and we'll do baseball next segment now that we're going down this road. Something's wrong with the Blues. And I know they've won back-to-back games, but they got absolutely housed at Colorado, and something's just not right. And I do think it's related to the heartbreak of losing that game against Winnipeg. And maybe they were a little over their skis going into the playoffs, like they shouldn't have been there, that they had that hot run, and they were a little ahead of schedule. But still, they could have taken a series away from the number 1 seed, and they blew it in the final seconds, is haunting, I think, to the organization. And maybe they wouldn't admit that, but something is not right now with this team. They should be better than they are. Nobody is scoring goals. It's the most bizarre thing. Can someone, I hear about you got to play this and hard in the corners, and you got to be this and you got to be that and have great goaltending. How about somebody score some goals? I mean, something. When Justin Falk is leading the team in goals, your defenseman with 11, it is a real problem. I am not understanding. It just doesn't compute why this team cannot score. And so I do think it all relates back to they just still feel off as an organization. Something's not right. And it has to, I think, relates to that carryover from earlier this year or last year.
Maybe. I just think that enough time has passed between now and then, and it wasn't an organizational, like, oh, here we go again. What's going to go wrong for us? See, we blew this playoff series. We're never going to do it. Because a lot of these guys did win the Cup. They were on the team. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of that, but I feel like enough months have gone by that they should be past that. Because, again, this is not like... So you think back to before the Cubs won the World Series, and they were the lovable losers and the curse and the GOAT and all that crap, right? And then 2003 happens with Bartman, which is probably about as devastating a way to lose a series as you could possibly have. You know, we talk about Denkinger. That was really bad. I was 7 when it happened, so I kind of remember, but it wasn't like, it wasn't visceral for me because I wasn't old enough to really get it. So that was bad. The Bartman thing was bad. That did hang over them the following year, and they were kind of lousy, and there was a lot of infighting and a lot of crap that was going on. But that was a team that had never won a championship or had not won it in, 100-something years. The Blues did just win a championship, and a lot of those guys held the cup. They got the cup for a day. So maybe it is some of that. I wonder if it's not as simple as the team just isn't that good. And maybe they played better than they were for a stretch last year and made us believe they were better than they actually are.
I got you. I hear that. It was 7 years ago that they won the cup. I mean, it's been a while.
It has. But also for us, when it had been never before.
Yeah. I feel it. I'll tell you something else that hurt both the Blues and the Billikens, mind you, and I'm going to transition into Billikens talk here in just a second. COVID. Because the Blues are defending Stanley Cup champions. You should be able to celebrate that all year long. You should be able to celebrate that with your fans and enjoy. And in 2019, they won the Stanley Cup, and they start off in the fall, and they raise the banner, and they're going to go into the playoffs. They're good, remember. Mm-hmm. The Blues were really good in the 2020 season. And what happens in March? COVID hits, and you got to play the playoffs in a bubble. You don't get to play in front of your fans.
It wasn't the same. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine going into the playoffs and the big, bad Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues with Chief behind the bench is ready to go, come at you again? We're going to come at you again. We're going to come at you with a physical style. We're going to have our big home crowd with us, and everybody's behind us, and then they have to go play in a bubble. I mean, and not to mention Alex Pietrangelo ends up later after that going on to greener pastures in his mind, and the Blues didn't retain him, and everything sort of fell off from there. For the Billikens, it's not as dramatic, but if you remember in March of 2020, the Billikens were actually playing well, and they go into postseason, and they had to be told, as they're practicing, getting ready to play, you won't be playing. We're done.
Yeah,
we're going to scratch this thing because of COVID. So that was a rough thing for them too. This Billikens team, I think, is very good. I think the super test is tonight against VCU. The
Big game tonight.
Siegel Center, almost 9,000 fans, 8,000 fans in there, I think. Packed to the gills. It'll be a rocking atmosphere. They have not experienced that yet this year. They've played 3 games away from home. 2 were at Palm Springs, where about 17 people were there. And then they played a road game at Loyola Marymount where maybe 170 people were in the house. This will be a different deal for them, but they are loaded with talent. They need to shore it up defensively, but they have enough firepower to compete with, I think, most teams. Now, I'll be proven wrong if down the road they don't make the NCAA tournament. But I think if they do, they'll be dangerous. But that's a long way away. Here we are on January 7th. Monster game tonight.
Yeah, it's a huge game because the way the season, I think, is going to shake out from everybody you talk to is they're probably going to have to win the conference tournament to get into the big tournament unless they just run the table, which probably isn't going to happen. I don't see them going all year with 1 loss, but their non-conference strength of schedule is not particularly good, and we've covered that a million times. So there isn't a whole lot of margin for error during the regular season, which means postseason tournament time, conference tournament time, that's when they'll have to do it. That doesn't mean tonight's not still very big, because it is. I think it's measuring stick big. And also knowing they just don't have a whole lot of luck in that building. Getting a win tonight, I think, might really have them take off.
If I were Josh Schertz, and he'll do this too, but if I were giving the pregame speech, I'd say, go have a blast tonight. This is why you came here, to play in atmospheres like this. Go out there, embrace it, enjoy it, play with each other, and have a great time. This team, don't even have to say this, but the Billikens have never won there. So go in there and have a good time. Play like you got nothing to lose and have an absolute blast. Play your hearts out for 40 minutes. And by the way, Missouri should do the same thing tonight at Kentucky. Don't worry about it. Just go out there and have a good time. And Kentucky's reeling a little bit here. It's an intimidating place. It's Rupp Arena. Go out and have a good time, play with each other, and see if you can replicate what you did against Florida. Maybe they've got something going. We won't know until they go out there and do it.
I'm with you, man. I hope both teams just have a nice time tonight.
I do too. We are going to take a break. When we come back, let's address the Cardinals transaction that they made for Justin Brule, the left-hand reliever. And also, Katie Wu and The Athletic have new information out about the TV situation, which we can take a look at when we come back. The Cardinals in our next segment. And then we're going all football in the back half of the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
Presented by Purina, your pet, our passion. Now, a KMOX pioneer.
From the moment he joined KMOX in 1946, Rex Davis became one of the most trusted and authoritative news voices in St. Louis. His commanding delivery and journalistic integrity helped define the station's identity for decades. His work on Total Information AM, alongside Bob Hardy, made it one of the most successful morning news programs in the nation. At its peak, heard by an astonishing 33% of the local radio audience.
This is Rex Davis. I'm asking you to join me for a special KMOX radio program in celebration of Independence Day, 1964.
But Rex also had a lighter side. His playful exchanges on The Jack Carney Show revealed the humor behind the headline voice listeners trusted. Rex Davis, a KMOX pioneer.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house? On the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things. Solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims, and in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey City fans, the official 2026 St. Louis City SC Yeti refillable Rambler is here. Pre-order yours now at stlcitygo.com to get yours by the home opener on February 21st.
Hey, this is former Cardinal Adam Wainwright. Congratulations to KMOX on 100 years as the voice of St. Louis.
Oh, perfect, because I wouldn't mind Adam Wainwright's opinion on Justin Brule. Thank you, Adam, for wishing us a happy birthday. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, Matt Pajeski, Frank Ladd. It is the Gashouse Gang. The Cardinals Caravan has been announced as well. They are sending out 5 different caravans over the 4-day period, Friday through Monday. You'll get to see, among others, Richard Fitz, the newest Cardinals acquisition. He's going to be on one of those caravans. You can go to cardinals.com/caravans to learn more about the caravan. I don't believe Justin Brule is planning to be added to the caravan schedule, but Brule is the latest acquisition by the Cardinals. Brule brought up in the Dodgers organization, a lefty reliever, and most recently with the Cleveland Guardians, they have acquired Brule in exchange for cash considerations. Ranji has been in 94 Major League games over a 5-year career, Dodgers, Rockies, Pirates, Blue Jays. I looked up a highlight of him this morning, striking out Alec Burleson on the outer part of that strike zone and looked pretty good doing it. Lefty-lefty matchup is what his specialty is. .224 batting average against, 2 home runs, only 7 extra base hits total over 176 batters faced. So I think that's what the Cardinals like there, Ranj, is they get Justin Brule. And if you're trading JoJo Romero, then you have yourself a veteran lefty in the bullpen.
There you go. And maybe they start the season or their intent is to use him as a lefty-lefty matchup kind of guy. I suppose they could try to expand his role, but he's been pretty successful against, same-handed hitters. So I don't know. It's not earth-shattering. No. This isn't one of those groundbreaking moves that people are clamoring for. They haven't traded Arenado yet. They still are hanging on to Brendan Donovan, and I imagine they're going to wait as long as they can on him because they have the ability to do that. I know people want action, and I would not expect any major acquisition, but you're going to be looking at them subtracting from the roster in a way, the bigger name players, right? So that's all there is, I think, for us to look forward to, but it's part of a process that I am willing as a fan. Just from my perspective, I'm willing as a fan to give them the leeway to try and figure this thing out because it's a new regime. You know, you've got some of the same people around, but there's a different philosophy that's happening moving forward. And I am smart enough to understand that this is going to be a long process. And I don't expect anything quick to happen or any quick results.
Just checking on the news of Main Street Sports Group. This is from The Athletic. They've updated their story on this. Katie Wu is part of this coverage for The Athletic. 9 Major League teams' TV money in jeopardy is FanDuel Sports Network, which is run by Main Street Sports Group. They're trying to renegotiate what they pay across the board. Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. Looks like the NBA teams would be the first in jeopardy. And, for that matter, major league teams as well. The Athletic reported that the Cardinals did not get their payment, that FanDuel and Main Street missed their payment on the Cardinals. So it's still up in the air, but what they're reporting is that the Cardinals are prepared they're deliberating whether to return to FanDuel and that they are negotiating and have prepared themselves for a possible MLB production.
Yeah, it looks likely they're going to go to MLB. And just to make it clear, my understanding is Main Street Sports is the company. They just sold naming rights to FanDuel. So it's not FanDuel that is operating. The FanDuel is not operating the television production side. They just paid to have their name slapped on it. So This is not them. This is Main Street Sports, which used to be Diamond Sports, which screwed up the regional sports network situation several years ago. You may have heard of them. They just rebranded. So, I don't know. It kind of sounds like this Main Street Sports is not particularly well run. They're clearly having financial issues if they can't pay teams. There was just a story yesterday or the day before that they missed a payment to the San Antonio Spurs as well. So, clearly this company is not doing well, and there was the potential DAZN buyout. And, we'll see if anything happens there, but it doesn't look good.
Well, we'll see where it all goes. The hope, of course, is that Cardinals fans get their ball and get it easily on TV. We got you on the radio side. We will have the games here starting on February 21st in spring training. Well, I mean, I do dabble in the TV side too, so I just want everybody to be happy. I just want everybody to be happy.
You can listen to us and watch the TV. You can listen to Rooney and Ricky.
You can do it all.
Yeah.
What we want you to listen to here in 1 minute is an update from Minneapolis. The news that a woman was shot and killed by an ICE officer in Minneapolis. CBS has the latest in 1 minute. Coming up on 12:30, we will have a weather forecast for you as well.
For 100 years, you have welcomed KMOX into your cars, your kitchens, and your daily routines.
You've trusted us through breaking news, championship celebrations, and stories that shaped our city.
You've listened during moments of joy and leaned on us when times were uncertain.
From overnight shifts to early mornings, from one generation to the next, you've made KMOX part of your life.
From everyone at KMOX, thank you, St. Louis, for 100 unforgettable years.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created Neovitin Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
Confrontation between protesters and ICE agents in Minneapolis. CBS's Nicole Skanga at the scene.
They heard at least one shot fired, though we are now learning from the Department of Homeland Security that there were multiple shots and that there was one individual lying on the ground.
Connor White of CBS Minnesota piecing together what happened.
According to ICE, this was an incident where a woman was trying to run over an agent, and one of them fired their service weapon.
Homeland Security says that woman died of her injuries.
In terms of federal presence, we're still seeing some FBI agents taking a look at that vehicle. It is a Honda SUV that appears to have a bullet hole through the window.
This comes amid a new influx of around 2,000 ICE agents into the Twin Cities. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry said after the incident, immigration agents are causing chaos. CBS News Special Report. I'm Steve.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Hey City fans, the official 2026 St. Louis City SC Yeti refillable Rambler is here. Pre-order yours now at stlcitygo.com to get yours by the home opener on February 21st.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's sunny and 63 degrees in St. Louis. The high will be 65. Might get rain tomorrow. And the weather's brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing a checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Al Arbor, Barrett Jackman, and Alexander Steen celebrate the newest inductees into the St. Louis Blues Hall of Fame, presented by First Community during a pregame ceremony on January 13th when the Blues take on the Hurricanes. Be sure to get here early to honor the legends and be one of the first 10,000 fans through the gate to receive a Blues Hall of Fame Class of 2026 banner courtesy of First Community. Get your tickets today at stlouisblues.com.
It's men's Billikens basketball action tonight as they face VCU. Pregame 5:45, tip at 6 on your home for Billikens basketball. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Big game tonight for the Billikens, but that sound right there, the University of Mississippi. Ole Miss has a big one tomorrow night against Miami in the Fiesta Bowl. The Gashouse Gang is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. And here comes a big fan of St. Louis. It is Ole Miss Radio Network host Brett Norsworthy back on KMOX. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. It's such an honor always to be on KMOX, and you're right about that. Big St. Louis fan, Cardinal fan, the city, the restaurants, the people, most importantly, the great people of St. Louis.
Love it, man. So before we talk football, let me get your perspective, because I know you have one. Your thought on the 2026 Cardinals as it stands right now, as big of a fan as you are.
Well, I know what this year is about. This is about a kind of a reset, certainly in the front office, and really a reset for Ollie. I think people need to be really patient. I'm sure going to be. I have been. I think it will pay off. This is probably not the year that we're planning a parade down Market Street for next October. In October of 2026, I think we've got to take a step or two back before we go 3 or 4 steps forward. The division is really tough. The National League is really tough. And with the schedule, how it's drawn up now, you just don't get to play a lot of teams in the National League Central like you used to. So if you got off to a bad start, you're kind of behind for the rest of the year, and the Cardinals have done that the last couple of years. But very patient. I think the future is bright, and I know Chaim Bloom's got a great plan for the future of this great franchise.
I'm with you. I have, from my expectation, a lot of out there's a lot of impatience with the Cardinals. People want them to get back to winning again. My clock reset once they put Bloom in charge, and I think you have to kind of go from there. But let's talk about this Ole Miss football team. They've gone through a lot this year and gone through a lot in the last month, and now they'll play in the Fiesta Bowl. What are you thinking going into the big one?
Well, Chris, we got the biggest game in Ole Miss football history tomorrow night after winning the biggest game in Ole Miss football history last Thursday night in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Of all the things I've done in sports, there's 2 in a special class. I was there for David Free's home run in Game 6 in October of 2011. Now, I don't know that moment would have been as special if we don't come back the next night and close it out in Game 7. So I feel very, very much like that about last week at the Sugar Bowl. Will that stay in that special echelon of sport for me if we don't back it up with a win tomorrow night and then a win on Monday night the 19th, maybe against Tom's Hoosiers for the national championship? But last week was special. Tomorrow night's going to be very difficult against a great team that's been poised for this. They go out and get Carson Beck in the portal in the NIL world. They've got two great defensive ends. They've got a good rushing attack and a really physical offensive line. Sounds like Georgia, doesn't it? So we think we saw that last week, so we're prepared for it.
What an incredible story this is. I mean, could you imagine your coach leaving in the middle of the season and you go on to be on the doorstep of a championship? Oh, wait a minute,
after
it has happened.
Before the playoff, I mean, it's crazy.
It has happened. It's called Michigan basketball, right? Yeah. I mean, we saw this happen with Steve Fisher taking over back in, what year was that? 1989. 1989, yeah, 89.
Yeah, that was the Ray Robinson team, and that was a team that even for the first round in Atlanta, Bo's still so mad at Frieder for leaving, he doesn't even send the pep band. They have to rent a pep band and put them in Michigan gear to play that great fight song in Atlanta when they started that run to the national championship. So maybe we can do it now. Lane didn't leave in the middle of the year. You know, he left after the biggest rival game against Mississippi State, and I have no rancor or agitation at him whatsoever. He was great to me. He was great to work for. He's a really great guy. I'm sorry that all the work he did on really polishing up that image kind of got ruined in a span of about 2 weeks, but it did with him to LSU. We play him in Oxford next year, and I'll worry about that then, but I do wish him well, and I know the lifestyle changes that he's made, and I'm really proud of him. And as a friend, I know he'll stay on that good path. But as far as football, Pete Golding picked right up, and you saw it in the college football playoff game in Oxford the weekend before Christmas. This team was ready, and that was Tulane, but a good team with John Summerall on his way to Florida. But we were ready for that game, and we were really ready for the Sugar Bowl, and it came down to the last seconds, and it was scoregami, first time in Ole Miss football history to win a game by a quirky score of 39-34.
So what is we're talking about Kiffin leaving, and I know this is such a big deal because I'm sure players feel a little spurned by this because it was such bad timing. But how have they responded? I mean, they've won, so clearly there's that. But in terms of how they're handling it otherwise, how's that been going?
Chris, to be 20 years old, they handle a lot. They're all kind of 20 going on 40 in a way, in a good way, and they've handled it well. There was always with the Lane train, it was always kind of combustible and sometimes could get rocky, and I'll use it again, quirky with Lane. But they've handled it so well. And Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback, the kind of the face of the team now after that 362-yard performance against Georgia, he's really been the leader of it. Last year led Division II Ferris State in Big Rapids, Michigan, to a national championship, and he's been the real leader of the team. Now he was not the best player in college football is Fernando Mendoza at Indiana, and he rightly won in a landslide the Heisman Trophy. But I think the best story in college football may be Trinidad Chambliss. I mean, we took Austin Simmons to SEC Media Days thinking that it wouldn't be a big drop-off from Jackson Dart to Austin Simmons this year. Then he got hurt in week 2 in a narrow win in Lexington against Kentucky. And then the next week, Trinidad Chambliss gets his first SEC start against Arkansas and lit him up. In post-game, I was interviewing him as offensive star of the game in the locker room immediately afterwards. And I promise you guys, I looked in his eyes, and I saw a killer. I saw a competitor, a sports killer. I looked in his eyes, and I saw Jack Bauer from 24 looking back at me.
This is Brett Norsworthy, Ole Miss radio host. What about Austin Simmons? I mean, who is Missouri getting here? Are they getting a killer? Are they getting a winner?
You sure are. The Mizzou Tigers are getting a first-class young man and family and a winner, and he's going to pick right up where they've had at quarterback. Drinks had a quarterback every year. He's been at Mizzou, and there's no stopping that. And Mizzou comes to Oxford next year. So we get LSU at Oxford, we get Austin Simmons at Oxford, and we've got to go to Austin to see Arch Manning. And I think the summertime Heisman Trophy darlings, summer of 2026, will be Arch Manning and Trinidad Chambliss.
I'm fired up for this game, Ole Miss and Miami. Before I let you go, just handicap, if you would, Indiana-Oregon.
I've got Indiana winning that game 21-17. Point spread's 3.5, just like the Ole Miss-Miami game. I've got Ole Miss winning 34-28. So Ole Miss and Indiana on Monday night in Miami for the national championship. and that'll be me and Tom Ackerman out on the weekend in Miami.
Oh, buddy, I got my flight booked. My goodness, I got my shift covered too. So all
you're already booked.
Bases are covered just in case we can pull this
Good
thing
work.
off. I agree with you. I think it's going to be a tight football game, buddy. I wish you the very best tomorrow night against Miami, and we'll catch up with you real soon.
Thank you very much. Go Cardinals.
Brett Norsworthy from Memphis, but in this case, the Ole Miss radio host, pregame and postgame for the Rebels. If you want to catch him, he is also a fixture on WHBQ AM in Memphis. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will get into more football with Kevin Wheeler. The Miami Hurricanes. We'll get their side of things going into tomorrow night's game. Back in a moment.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RAIN to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RAIN.
Winterfest is back for the 10th year in Keener Plaza, now through January 11th. Enjoy Winterfest traditions, including ice skating, s'mores, and igloos underneath 100,000 twinkling lights in the shadow of the Gateway Arch. Grab a bite or drink from downtown favorites and enjoy a family-friendly New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular. Winterfest, hosted by Gateway Arch Park Foundation, presented by Bank of America and Worldwide Technology. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft shoes, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Hey City fans, the official 2026 St. Louis City SC Yeti Refillable Rambler is here. Don't miss your chance to get the only reusable drinkware with exclusive in-and-out privileges at Energizer Park. Pre-order yours now at STLCityGo.com to guarantee you get yours by the home opener on February 21st and join St. Louis City in their mission to reduce waste on match day and every day.
At Gray Bar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products.
with kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and gray bar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, on 104.1 FM KMOX.
If you're catching us on YouTube, X, and Facebook, we appreciate that. A lot of people listen on the radio, which we always love. Gashouse Gang is back with Chris Ranji. I'm Tom Ackerman, producers Matt Pajeski, Frank Ladd. Look who just walked into the studio. If you're watching the feed, you can see in the middle of the screen, Kevin Wheeler has joined us. Kevin Wheeler is an OG Gashouse Gang host.
Oh, yeah, way back in the day when we were a year ago.
Yeah, we were just a little operation. Just a little operation that would pop up on your phone. To look at us now.
Yeah, what do you know?
Look
Actually,
at
on the radio.
So much more yoked than you were back then, too. He's getting bigger and bigger.
He is a big boy.
Your neck is gone. Where's your neck?
There.
He's looking. He is just jacked.
I tried to find it.
Wheels.
I never had a neck because, unfortunately, the extra chin is starting to cover it.
Before we talk Miami Hurricanes, your assessment.
Yeah, tell us about your Hurricanes.
No. Before we do that, just give me the latest. Cardinals fans are dying to know what you feel about the team at the moment. They just got Justin Brule.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's next?
I mean, it's got to be a continuation of both reducing salary and getting younger. Like those two things are going together, right? You're not just dumping contracts, but they're going to, they've continued to do that. You're still just trying to get to the point now, though, where you're getting more clarity. The one thing we don't have yet, because Donovan is still here and Arenado is still here, you don't have clarity. So the guy that you're moving to save as much money as you can and get younger is Arenado. The guy that you're moving to get better is Donovan, right? To get some more talent in there, whether it's offensive prospects, pitching prospects, whatever. You're going to be in a position now, though, once you get it settled, we can then look at, okay, now what do you need to add to it? Because they still need to add, right? Yeah. They need a right-handed bat somewhere. Chaim Bloom, I know, mentioned that with you, Tom, on Sunday. And he's actually mentioned it multiple times with you on Sundays. But a right-handed bat is still needed, especially somebody who could play some outfield. They definitely would. It would be great to see another reliever, another kind of proven reliever to give you some room to maneuver a little bit. But they're still kind of in between. But I think that's the market, though, right? I mean, it's just everything's been slow for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. With the Edward Cabrera thing looks like it's happening today. We just haven't seen the return that the Cubs are giving up to get him from the Marlins. And you had Imai sign with Houston, but outside of that, it's been pretty quiet for a few weeks.
Yeah, I agree with you. So this Miami story is so cool. I mean, it really is. I'm so happy for you because I know even though you were quiet about it, that had to have been extremely frustrating to be on the outside looking in, knowing that you had defeated Notre Dame and you weren't being discussed as a possible, but it was you couldn't do it anyway because you weren't ACC champion. The whole thing seemed messed up, but they got it right. They got you in. And here you are. And I will say this, the 4 teams remaining are 4 physical football teams.
Yeah, that's really what stands out, right? I mean, you look at, and so are some of the teams that are out, right? I mean, Ohio State definitely fits that description. Alabama, not so much after Indiana pushed them around. Yeah. Indiana beat the crap out of Alabama's players. But yeah, you're right. All 4 of these teams, and you have to be, right? You have to be because if you look at the way offense rolls in college football right now, if you can't get after the quarterback, if you can't stop, a ball carrier when they catch the pass or when they get the handoff, if you can't make the physical plays, you're just going to give up 40 points a game. Because the way offense is, a good offense will roll you if you can't get through that upfront battle.
Yeah, we were talking, maybe we didn't. I might have been having this conversation with somebody else about looking at the playoff now. And the collection of teams that are in it, you're used to. It's always Alabama and Georgia. I mean, they're going to be
Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State. They're going to be in it. None of those teams are. And talking about the transfer portal, which is a mess in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But also there's some benefit to it, too, that teams can't, like Alabama, can't just collect a bunch of great talent and have them, stand on the sidelines because there's nowhere to play them.
Yeah, and these guys don't. Now, see, in the past, in the old structure, you'd be more than happy to be second and third string at Alabama as a freshman, sophomore, and wait your turn because they're going to make you an NFL player. You're going to be able to have that opportunity to start down the road. Well, now those guys are going to go start somewhere because they're going to get paid like a starter instead of paid like a second or third string guy. And it's spread the talent out. And I thought Bruce Feldman did a really nice job breaking this down on The Athletic the other day, that the big boys hold, and really the SEC's hold on the college football championship is being broken in part because the talent's spreading out. And in the old system, Indiana wouldn't have had access to a guy like Mendoza in the old system. Miami wouldn't have had a Carson Beck or Cam Ward last year. And you look at Ole Miss with the opportunities that they've taken advantage of. Like, it doesn't go this way 3 or 4 years ago because of these changes. So, yeah, there's chaos, and it's not all good.
Right.
But there is good in that it's no longer just dominated by the southeastern part of the country. It's not just Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. And I know Ohio State's in the Midwest. But, it's not a very small regional sport now. Now it's growing to be something more national.
And, Kevin, what can a school like Miami do to offset all that Mark Cuban money going to Indiana now?
I mean, they got their own billionaires, man.
Yeah, do they?
Jorge Mas is a billionaire. He's down there throwing money around.
Any cocaine money,
I mean, Jeez. That was more the 80s.
Oh, it's over now?
That was more the 80s.
Oh, man.
Yeah, a little harder to do right now.
Yeah, you got play. You got.
We're blowing up Venezuela. There's no more cocaine.
You guys have plenty. We have CBS News at the top of the hour. All right, let me shift this back to football.
Sure.
Let me get this train on the tracks. Two-part question to close things out. What does Miami do really well? What's the best thing Miami does? And the second thing is, what do you need to do better to get to this championship game?
That's a great question. So the first part, they are the best team that I've seen all season in getting after quarterbacks and not having to bring extra numbers to do it. You've got two elite defensive ends. They're not one particular style. Bain has the style that's more like an Aaron Donald, where you can move him around. He can rush from the inside, rush from the outside. He's a physical, powerful, thick pass rusher who has speed as well. And then Mesidor's more of the pure speed rusher. So they do that incredibly well. And the thing they need to do better, they got to make more plays in the passing game. They're going to have to. You can't expect that every game you're going to hold your opponent to 10, 12, 14 points. And, Ole Miss's offense has been great. Trinidad Chambliss is a very creative player who can do a lot of different things. They have talented running backs. They have talent at wide receiver. And I know that's true of Ohio State, right? I mean, so we know that was true about them too. But when just looking at this game, they're going to have to get more out of the passing game. And Beck's been nice and efficient, but they haven't hit many big plays. Malachi Toney was not even a factor in that last game. So get the passing game going. That's the key.
Miami, 60 minutes away from playing a national championship in Miami.
How about that?
That's pretty
awesome. It's been a while since they had that opportunity.
That's pretty awesome.
I think I'll be doing that against the Hoosiers.
Might be.
I know. It could very well be. I was there. I told you. I was there when Miami beat Oklahoma in Miami at the Orange Bowl.
Yep.
It was unbelievable.
If those two teams are in, both teams have fun. I really hope you guys do.
Thanks. Yeah.
Just have a good time.
We'll just fight it out. Yeah.
I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
All right, good times.
Good to have everybody with us for the Gashouse Gang. Kevin will be right back because the DGS is next.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live. It's a place to belong. Come see